Alright, so it's Christmas and your granny just got you the 10th edition starter paint set. But you say to her, I don't do Space Marines or Tyranids. 1. How dare you say that to your grandmother? 2. I am here talking about this. It is a little challenge I had planned ever since I got my hands on the 9th edition paint set, and I decided to continue it this month. So let's begin. I started with a Scourge, priming it with Chaos Black. You may not have it in your set, but priming it by hand with Abaddon Black works just as well. Now let's begin with the base paints. Here is everything you need for this step. So let's begin! Starting off with Nagaroth Knight, all you need to do for this model is apply it all over the armor plating. Using a 1-to-1 mix of Abaddon Black and Macragge Blue, paint the new navy colour all over the rings. Make sure not to touch any of the other parts you already painted. Since I am using a model with no visible flesh, paint the loincloth with Bugman's Glow. Makes sense for a Drukhari. Next up, Mephiston Red. Just apply this over the hair and any little ornaments on the guns. After that is Korok's Right. Use this over all of the cables and tubes. This will need to be layered on a couple times in thin coats. Continue on with Wraithbone over the skull. Just like the right, it will need a few thin coats. Before we do the metallics, do a 1-to-1 mix of Korok's Right and Abaddon Black, going over the rock the Scourge is just jumping off of. Onto the metallics now, starting with Leadbelcher, going over all the random hooks, valves and even the barrel of the gun. Then finish the base step entirely with Balthazar Gold. All you need to do is just put this over the face mask. There is only 2 paints used for shading in this episode, as the set only comes with 1 shade and a contrast paint. That just makes it simpler. Let's get to work. Start shading with Agravac's Earthshade, going over all the model except for the white pipes and tubes. And finish the shading step with Magos Purple, going over all of the white details. Onto the layering step. Same with the shading step, but this time we are reusing a lot of the earlier base paints for layering. So, let's begin. First, dry brush over all of the feathers with Thunderhawk Blue before we start mixing more colours. Follow it up with more Korok's Right mixed into the previous grey mix we made to apply it over all of the stone edges. Add some Korok's Right to Nagaroth Knight and apply it over the edges of the purple armor plating. Then mix some Korok's Right into some pure Abaddon Black and apply it over all of the black details on the model. Swapping the Korok's Right over to Wraithbone now, add some Mephiston Red and apply it to all of the red details. Add some Wraithbone to some of the Bugmans and mix it up, then apply it to all the flesh areas. After that, use pure Wraithbone and add highlights to the skull on the base. Before we move on to the metallics, let's do the eyes. Add some Thunderhawk blue over both lenses. Next, add some Corax whites to the lenses, and it's time for the metallics next. Onto the metallic highlights, starting with a mix of Balthazar Gold and a Wraithbone, being used to highlight the face mask. Then finish the layering step with a mix of Lead Belcher and Corax White, then apply it on all the silver. Once it's dried, it's time to move on to the base. And now we're almost done. Time to create the desert base we were given in the set. So, one final time, and then we can rest. Begin the base step with Armageddon dust over the entire base, aside from the rock and the skull. Follow it up with a wash of Irex Earthshade over the dust. Be sure to avoid any pulling while doing so. Dry brush on some Wraithbone over all of the sand. And then once that's done, it's pretty much just a rim painting, as there's no grass tufts in the set. With the rim being painted with Abaddon Black, and then it's done. And there you have it, a majestic Scourge, painted with only using 13 paints. Thanks for watching, but I do have another announcement. I have teamed up with a Discord server called Warhammer Hobby Community for the next month's painting challenge. The challenge being to do what I just did, paint a model while only using the colours found in the 10th edition set. The best wins a £20 gift voucher for the Warhammer store. But now for rules. You must only use the colours found in the paint set. If you don't use the set of paint colours, you can just swap them out for the brands that you do prefer, as long as it's the same colours. The model can't be a Space Marine or a Tyranid, because it just seems like cheating in my eyes. Submissions must be sent to the Discord server in the Hobby Challenge submission channel. We do this challenge every month, but this is the first time we've done a challenge which includes a money-sized reward. If you leave before the contest ends, then your submission will be removed. Other than that, good luck, and I hope to see everyone's models.